All right, all right, all right. It's a great day here at Pride Buzz. Matter of fact, let's call it Pride Buzz TV. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 2. I am CJ Jones, and we do have 2 other people here with us, and we'll just let them go ahead and give a brief introduction for themselves.
I am the one and only Samaya. I'm not going to give all the other names because I don't want to confuse anybody, but I am Samaya with Pride Buzz, and this is episode 2 for us as a team.
Mhm.
And surprise, we have one more person.
All right, so we'll throw it straight to her so that she can introduce herself.
Hey everyone, this is Princess, and of course, I am the newest person to the Pride Buzz TV, and I'm excited to be a part of the group, of course, with the lovely CJ and Samaya.
All right, awesome. So I guess we should dive straight into it, ladies, right?
Of course.
All right, so our topic for today is drum rolls, please. All right, identity versus preference. So let's get to it. I guess I should throw it to Samaya first.
Okay, well, I prefer, that's a good way to start it. I prefer women. But, there are different types of women, of course, and that's where often the problems arise within our community because, especially in certain parts of the country, it's just odd to me how they're just assuming just because I'm a feminine woman more so that I'm supposed to be with a more so masculine woman if I'm a lesbian. But it didn't always work like that. So that's why I brought myself into the front the picture. And I'm married to a more so masculine lesbian, so but that doesn't mean that's the only woman that's attractive to me. And this is a disclaimer: just because you're married, I mean, can't look at people. I mean, looking, touching, two different things.
Yeah.
So,
That's how I feel about my boyfriend. I don't give a damn what you look at, but you better not ain't no messaging, ain't no touching. We're not doing none of that because then I have to turn straight into Angela Bassett from what's that movie? Waiting to Exhale. So let's not have that happen. And I also wanted to add some feedback for this particular topic as well. It's the same thing for guys like me. Especially when it comes to us having titles within titles, like you have your tops, your bottoms, your versatile guys. I've actually seen 2 bottoms get together and use a double-headed dildo to do each other at the same time. I just wanted to throw that out there.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not what we're used to. It's not what we're used to. So
yeah.
Indeed, I can definitely say me as a more feminine female, and I can't really say feminine because I'll identify myself, if we're going to put a label on it, as a more aggressive femme, and my girlfriend is pretty much gender neutral. So that could go.
Explain, because please explain, because
Right.
I don't want to assume. I don't want to assume.
Oh, of course, no problem. She, of course, is female. And if you look at her, you would assume that she's the more masculine female in the relationship. But at the same time, when it comes to us and our relationship, it's more along the lines of there's no, hey, I'm the more aggressive or I'm the more feminine one. It's the versatility between the two of us. No, she's not going to put on a dress and we're going to be out together. No. But for perception reasons, if somebody's looking at her, they're going to assume she's stud in a sense, if you don't say it that way. But the more aggressive female in our relationship. So everybody has their preferences. I've dated more feminine females. So I've been in a femme relationship. And to me, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Your preference and what you like is what you like. It doesn't change anything because ultimately what happens in your bedroom is in your bedroom.
Yeah, and it's your business.
Roles change.
Where it becomes an issue with what I have an issue with is when people down talk it a little bit too much. I mean, we all can take a joke here and there. Like
right.
when we see 2 studs or if we see two drag queens kissing in the dressing room or something like that. I'm just throwing that out.
It sounds like a song.
I should write that song. But anyway, and it's okay. We can all take a joke, but I have an issue when people feel, it's kind of like hate within hate, because we have so much hate towards our community. We hating within, like it's
ridiculous on so many levels.
It is. So,
because I hate to see where, and I know when it comes to females, it's like, oh my God, stud for stud is nasty. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's still two females that are attracted to each other.
absolutely.
One of them is going to be the more feminine person, and one is going to be the aggressor. But you are identifying them only by what they have on.
Yeah.
Well, let me intercede on that, because it doesn't. You said one has to be the more aggressive one. It does not particular, because if you really think about it, now this is just looking at the stereotype of lesbians. When you're looking at, say, porn or whatever, it seems like it's really too soft women, and they're gonna end up licking each other, and they're gonna be grinding on each other. So in that
I'm so immature.
Well, in that role, it's portrayed to the people that are fan of pornography. There is no aggressor. I mean, a lot of times they end up throwing a man in there, but even if it's just film on film, every once in a while they start throwing like a dildo in there or whatever. But a lot of times they both put it on. It doesn't have. It's almost like the straight community, as they create these porn episodes, they're not the ones putting the aggressor on. It's almost like our community does that, and we do that by trying to emulate what a straight lifestyle is like. We have to have one dominant and one submissive, but sometimes people, and it varies. Like, say on Monday, I might be the aggressor. On Tuesday, it might be you. And, it doesn't have to be like that. But I think we've just been programmed for so long that now look. And then I told CJ this the other day. The guys, it's like a little Alice in Wonderland to me, the way the sex life works gave me. The males, I mean, it's just like, what is going on today? What are we doing today? Because I mean, there's so much versatility going on.
I can add, I can be completely truthful, and I'm pretty sure my boyfriend doesn't mind. Our relationship, we're completely in the middle. It's kind of like whoever take the cookie
lead.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that, because I'm typically a fairly aggressive individual, but I'm also I can be really, really vulnerable. When I'm vulnerable, I'm vulnerable. So it's like I prefer to take in turns type of thing. So I couldn't be with a guy who was completely 100 top or completely 100% bottom, because I wouldn't be happy, and I probably would cheat on him. And I'm just going to be completely honest and say that. And
that's real. That's real.
But that's what it takes. You have to be able to identify what it is that you like and what you prefer, and be real with yourself. Because at the end of the day, it ain't about nobody else. It's about you and what you identify with, and how you perceive yourself and what you think of self. It don't matter what nobody else thinks, because it don't matter. Period.
Okay, now I have a question, and maybe us three cannot answer that question, but as people are watching this video, maybe someone has an answer for this. How does asexual work? I mean, are asexual people?
Wait. 2 seconds. This is an introduction. We do have to introduce a new segment here on Pride Buzz TV. It is called Did You Know? So I'll throw it back to Samaya, and she'll give us our Did You Know question of the day.
It's a question. I don't have an answer, but I get asked. Is an asexual person asexual and wants to be by themselves? Or, can two asexual people be together? Because they'll be two happy people, because neither one of them wants to have sex, which that's what asexual means. Anti-sex. I don't know. Just doesn't want to have sex. Doesn't like sex. I don't know. I'm not asexual, but if any asexual people are listening out here, how does an asexual person deal with a relationship? Because if you choose not to like or want to have sex, how do you have a relationship? Or do you have a relationship? And that's my question. So do you know?
Exactly.
I don't
because
know.
I could jump in and throw out an answer to that, but I want someone who's actually asexual to answer that for us. So we'll leave that on the table. So our Did You Know question of the evening is, what does an asexual person expect from a partner, and how do you live your life as an asexual individual? Where do you find your happiness? So we just simply want to know, and it's not a being funny type of question. We are open-minded people. You hear the stuff we talk about here at Pride Buzz TV. We really want to know how it works. So someone hit us up and let us know.
Yeah.
There's no way at all for anybody to know or for us to know unless we give each other, what we know, what we think, and exchange information. Because then in the end, everybody ends up potentially on the same page. So everybody knows the same things. And you don't have, well, I think it's this, I think it's that, when you can get the information directly from somebody. It makes more sense. And then you're not assuming and completely making an ass of yourself.
Right.
Just like we have to educate ourselves about sexual health. We have to educate ourselves about the people that are part of our community. And for me to have been out this year in August, it'll be 12 years. So I've been out for 12 years and I still don't know half of this stuff. I have to read it, and then reading it, is that just somebody writing an article that doesn't know the facts? Or does it depend on the individual, case by case? Is it different for everybody? And it may be, but then, I want to hear it from someone that identifies as asexual. I got some questions for some transsexual people.
Well,
Yes.
I have a feeling we'll get to that in a future episode of Pride Buzz TV, but unfortunately, boys and girls, we have ended our time here for episode 2. Thank you all for joining us here at Pride Buzz TV. Again, I'm CJ Jones.
I'm Samaya.
And I'm Princess.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in for episode 3 when we go over our new topic here at Pride Buzz TV, which is I Don't Need to Fit In. We'll be back for that one. Thank you so much for tuning in.